Hey guys, Asocialist with another video. This time we're talking about being asocial in sales. And I know it sounds crazy. You're like, how can you be an asocial person in sales? Because of that social anxiety is terrible, but I promise we do exist. There are some people who do thrive in it, and of course you have the majority of people that you hear about that absolutely just burn out. So I know you can probably see behind me this is not the ideal location. This is not what I wanted. And I've already done a few takes so I can hear the audio is not the best, but the lighting is a lot better than what was out there. The audio is what forced me to have to come in here because it was so bad. It was just echoes for days. So it's just like a big open space. But the reason why I chose it is because the background looked great, which if you stick around to the end of the video, I'll go ahead and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. It's pretty gloomy outside. It doesn't look great. So I guess it worked out anyway because I didn't get here in time for the sun. I want to hit it at the right time. I even timed when the sun would be coming down for like good natural light. And it didn't work out anyway because now it's like overcast. But I'm just going to power through, keep moving forward. It's going to give you some more great content anyway because I've been waiting all week to record this video. So let's get into it. Starting with... I don't know. Hold on. Let me get my thoughts together. So sales for me has been like those anxiety exercises. I don't know if you've ever actually seen them. So like the ones where like you walk in a crowd, you put your arms straight up in the air, or you lay down on the sidewalk for like 60 seconds or whatever. And it's supposed to help you feel more comfortable being around other people, just kind of being comfortable in your own skin. So that's what sales has been for me in a much more informal way. So the very first time I actually spoke in front of a crowd of people, and it really wasn't a crowd, it was like 6 or 7 people in this little tiny like shack. That's supposed to be like this restaurant on the water, terrible. And I was stuttering like crazy, tripping over my own words. And the crazy thing was, I'm telling these people about my life. Like, it wasn't like, hey, I'm trying to sell you this product. I was just getting up telling them how my life has been and how sales has influenced that. And I'm stuttering about telling them about myself. Like, I've been with me for the entirety of me. Like, the entire time I've been alive, I've been with me. No one spent more time with me, and I can't get my words out to tell these people about myself. So it was bad. I probably wouldn't have been able to, the same exact thing probably would have happened recording in front of a camera. The cool thing with the camera is that you can do as many takes as you need to get it right, which I have because I've had plenty of technical difficulties. I just bought this tripod, which is trash, terrible. You get what you pay for. I'm probably gonna go ahead and drop some more money on something that's even nicer because this is not working well. If you could see the setup that I have right now just to make this tripod work, you'd be like, wow, I should probably subscribe, which you should. You should totally subscribe. But anyway, that's just something that totally sucked in the very beginning, with stuttering and tripping over my own words. And now I think the biggest group I've talked in front of is like a little over 400 with ease. Like I'm talking to my best friend. And so I actually started with MLM, or network marketing, as some people might know it, the Avon thing. I didn't do Avon, but that's just to give you an example. It's kind of what it is, where like you get your friend, you drag them out because you haven't seen them in a long time. You want to catch up, and then you give them a sales pitch. So that's what I did for a long time. And I have my own personal views on it, but regardless of what I think or how I feel about it, I can never take away the life lessons that I've learned from that and the impact that it's had on my life. So it's definitely helped me be a much better and much more well-rounded person, much more outgoing, which has definitely helped with sales. I don't think I would have got this job had I not started with MLM or network marketing the way that I did. I had a lot of success straight out of the gate as well, and I did a lot of different things too, and later on I'll kind of get into the different types of sales that I've done. And so that's where I got my start, and that's where I feel where I really, really set my roots. And that has really helped me in a major way. And so the first thing that I want to do is tell you, I'm going to be going over different things in sales that have helped me and different things that have hindered me and how I've overcome them. And so the first thing I want to go over is saying things that don't make any sense and then continuing to talk and try to fix it. So you're like, hey, I know what I'm saying right now makes no sense. I should have stopped 6 words ago. Here we are 6 words later, and it makes even less sense. Why am I doing this? So that was something I had a problem with too, because I would get nervous, I would get anxious. I'm like, I'm saying things and I'm like, oh man, this is dumb. They know it's dumb. Let me try to fix it. Oh wait, this is getting worse. And like you're in your own mind, you're stuck in your head and you're just super anxious. You're like, what the hell am I doing? So sales helps you clear that up real quick, because if you do that, that's gonna kill your sale. Like right away, you're like, hey, I need to make this money. I need to make this commission or whatever. I need to make sure that what I'm saying is exactly what needs to be said and nothing else. Like nothing remotely stupid needs to come out of my mouth when I'm talking to this person. And so that's the way that I've overcome that is literally just rehearsing. So you want to feel organic. You want it to be natural when you're selling, but at the same time, you need some type of structure. You can't just get in there and just kind of wing it. Some people can. Some people are really, really good at it. They just jump in there and just say anything and they make sales. But for the majority of us normal humans, you have to rehearse at least a certain part of it. And so for me personally, I call it a script because that's what I learned from Jordan Belfort, The Wolf of Wall Street. Here at the job that I work at, they call it like a framework. I'm used to calling it a script, but for me, it's like bullet points. I make sure that I say these specific things. Everything else after that is fair game, completely organic and naturally flowing. That's how I love that. For me personally, that's my sweet spot in sales. So at least rehearsing quite a bit or having some type of structure definitely helps get around that when you're in sales with anxiety. And so the next point would be saying too much in general. Even if you're saying some great things, you're giving them a lot of great points, like a lot of great selling points, saying too much in general does too much. And that's another sales killer in itself. So you might be thinking, hey, I'm saying a lot of great things. This person's loving it. And yeah, that's a lot of good information, but you lost them 5 minutes ago. So that's something too that you got to be conscious of. Make sure you're well rehearsed, you know exactly what you're going to say, and you limit it to a certain amount of things that you're going to say. Make sure that what you're saying is exactly what you need, like I said, and nothing that you don't. So the way that I get around that, again, is I think 1 and 2 kind of like tie into each other. Maybe it's like 1A and then 1B really is what I should have did. So I have less points now, but it doesn't matter. Say less and say exactly what you need to say, and that's it. So that's how I get around that. Another thing that I do, because I have this social anxiety and I just can't be around people for too long, is I'll sneak around simply to avoid other human beings. And not in a bad way. It sounds terrible, but basically, I got something in my eye. Oh Lord. Oh, clutch my pearls. Oh my. All right. So I can't see at all. That didn't help at all. All right. So what was I saying? Oh my. What was I saying? So I like to sneak around to avoid other human beings. And so a good example of that is this past week at work, I found a spot off by myself where there's literally nobody else. It's literally just me in this room with like 3 white walls like this, and then like maybe like a window or something like that out here going out into like the rest of the office. But it's just me in there by myself, just grinding, just banging out these calls, just doing what I do in sales. And that works best for me. And it shows because my sales numbers have absolutely improved over this last week. I had the most sales calls for the week and more emails than I've ever done since I've been here. And you'll be saying like, hey, it's only been 2 weeks. But yeah, at the same time, I felt like what I'm doing now is not much more different than what I was doing before, other than the fact that I'm off by myself, So that's really it. Like that made a major difference to me. And I feel that's something that sometimes you have to do. But the hard thing with sneaking around is it's sneaky. Sneaking around with doing anything just sounds really bad. Anytime you're sneaking, you're like, well, you're doing something you're not supposed to. For me personally, it's like, if I don't, it's going to upset certain people. And so basically the energy of the sales floor is what they want to entirely encompass you. Like they want you to be surrounded by this sales energy, and it's supposed to help you and push you and make you want to sell more because everyone around you is doing really great, and it's so much energy and the momentum's still going. And me, that does not work for me at all. That don't do a damn thing for me but drain me. That will distract me, and you got people kidding around, having a good time, and the ADHD side is like, hey, you know, this is really boring. Here's people interacting, having fun and whatnot. Let me go do things with them. I have to be away from them, you know. And my manager was telling me, like, maybe we'll get you some good headphones. I'm like, bro, I need a whole new brain. Like, the headphones, they're not going to do anything because I still can sense these people are here having fun. What's in front of me is boring as hell. I just simply can't do it. So sneaking away absolutely works for me. The way I found to get around that is you just got to you got to hit your numbers. Simple as that. That the only reason, and you know, management lets me do that, and I've been told this, is because of the fact that I am hitting my numbers. So a workaround for that, if your management, your boss, or whatever, if they allow you to actually do that, or if they, well, I guess if they are willing to let you do that, just make sure that you show them that it's worth it. You know, that you're straying away from what, you know, the charted path or whatever guidelines they have. You're straying away from it, but you're doing better because of it. So show them that it's actually worth it to give you that privilege to work somewhere else. Unless you work remote from home, then I guess that doesn't apply to you. But yeah, so that shouldn't bother you anyway. But, you know, people will get mad about anything. If that makes you mad, put it in the comments. I'm so excited to get to the point where I'm so big that people fight in the comments about nonsense. That's when you know you've made it on YouTube. Yeah. Next thing, the type of sales that I'm in right now is the type of sales that I absolutely hate. I hate it so much. People here have told me that they love it, and I don't believe them. I've met definitely hundreds. I was gonna say dozens, but definitely hundreds and hundreds of different people in sales, salespeople, people connected to sales, and we all feel the same exact way. And all my friends feel the same way too. So I don't believe people when they say that they do like it, but the type of sales I'm talking about is cold calling. I absolutely hate it. I don't know anyone who likes it, and I've had people here who have told me that they love it, and I'm like, you're full of shit. Nobody likes that. I'll never believe you. Liar, liar, pants for hire. So if you tell me that, I swear to God, I'll think you're a liar for the rest of your life. I'll never trust you. You know, don't even. It's rough. So cold calling is definitely that's going to make or break you if you do have anxiety, because of the fact that you're calling someone and you know you're disturbing them, you know you're going to be upsetting them, you know they're not going to be happy with you. And so what does that do for you? That makes you anxious because you know that you're going to piss this person off. And then when the first time you call an angry person and they're like, oh, is this a sales call? I literally had one of these yesterday. He's like, is this a solicitation? I was like, I had to think about it for a second because he said it with a weird accent. And I was like, why didn't you just say sales call? You know, but he asked if it was a solicitation. I was like, yeah. And then I proceeded to sell mine. Well, you already know. Here we go. The awkward part's out of the way. Here's my pitch. He hung up on me, but it doesn't really matter. The key point to this is to just do it as often as possible, mess up as often as possible. That's what I'm learning with making videos, is just do it, just get it out there. But make as many mistakes as you possibly can early on to just hurry up and get it out of the way so that you can excel and just learn and grow that much faster. As far as cold calling goes for me personally, like I said, I hate it. Anxiety just makes it even worse, but there's nothing else you can really do with it other than to just get right into it. If you do know some other methods, or you know someone else that does as well, go ahead and put that down in the comment section as well and let everyone else know. And I'd love to learn what you do to get around cold calling and anxiety, because I've been doing this for 5 years. Like, I've been doing sales for about 5 years now, all different types of sales, and cold calling has always been the worst for me. Even striking up a conversation in person with somebody, to me now, that used to be hard, and now it's like, I feel like I'm just killing the game when it comes to that. Like, it's really easy for me to just strike up a conversation and then sell somebody something, or give you some information, say, hey, you know, I'll call you later, or set a sales meeting or something like that. The easiest sale I've had while working in a cold calling environment has been one where I met someone while I was Ubering. I met this woman, I spoke with her, I got her information, and then we set a sales meeting, like a sales call, basically. And that was the easiest one for me. It was in person. I could see her, like, obviously not as well because she was sitting in the back seat. But for me, that's me all day. I love that so much. So I actually I don't know, if this company sends me off into like random places like Alaska and Omaha, Nebraska, I don't know, anywhere, and just puts me there in person, I feel like I would do 10 times better than I do sitting here calling people, but that for me personally is how I found to get around the cold calling anxieties. You just gotta do it. And I know it sucks, and you're like, man, I really need to find something else. But the way I think about it is, all right, well, each no just gets you closer to your next yes. So you're getting so many no's, and people are hanging up on you. And what you need to do too is every time, if you are getting hung up on or you're not getting through to these people, learn from what you're doing wrong. So figure out, that's what I would always do, is like, all right, well, what did I say wrong this time? How can I do better next time? And that's how you learn and you move forward. And so that for me personally has been a major help too. But I think the biggest thing is to really just jump in there and just start selling. So that's me personally. And so the biggest thing for me that has absolutely worked all the time, but it's not very healthy, and I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. But like I said, these are my recommendations off of what not my recommendations, but these are my personal views based off my own life, my own experiences. And the thing that's worked the best for me is just pure anger. You know, you're like, that sounds really bad. Like, it's a bad idea, but I'll explain how it works for me. So anger, above all else, has helped me push through the most anxiety-stricken moments of my life. You know, and in sales, it makes it so much easier. And so remember when I told you before, when I was doing network marketing, when I would get up there, I went from stuttering like crazy to, all right, now I need to find a way to make this anger positive. You know, you're like, how do you do that? Passion. Because what is passion other than like anger and love together? So you're like, you have the emotions of being angry, or maybe it might be something else. I don't really know. I'm just kind of saying things. But to me personally, I feel like passion is anger and love mixed together. And it's like you're angry about something because, well, not angry about something. You're passionate about something because you love it. The anger for me would come from me drawing things from like my childhood, like things that happened that I'm still upset about, you know? And I'd be like so angry about that, and it would get me into that mode of just like, I'm not anxious about anything. I don't care about anything. I'm angry. You know, I'm really mad. And so then I would turn that into passion for the product that I'm selling. So I would get in there and I'm like, hey, you know, I got a great quality product that you absolutely need to see. I know you've probably never seen it before. You might have seen things like it, but I promise you that this is the best thing you've ever seen in your life. And I promise you that once you have this in your life, it will change it. So I understand that you don't have it right now, you don't get it, and that's perfectly fine. But what you need to understand is that you need this in your life right now. And so that's the type of passion that I would have when I would be speaking to these people and trying to sell them on the product that I have for them. So, and that's the thing too, is that it feels, even physically, it feels different. So even like right now, when I was giving you guys the example, I could feel the passion. I could feel the passion, corazón. So I could feel I could feel it like here in my chest. Versus anger, when I'm really angry, I feel it in my gut. Like I feel it in my stomach. And it wears on me. And after a while, like it can be painful. Like it really just wears you down. And so it really, really, I don't know like how to even like really explain, like to distinguish the difference between them. I can physically feel it. And some people be like, you know, oh, well, it's because it's your heart or it's in your spirit. The heart's an organ or a muscle. So I don't personally feel that, you know, oh, it's in my heart that I feel it. I just know that something right here, when I get really passionate about what I'm speaking about, I can feel it. It's the feeling that I would normally get in my gut, but it doesn't really drain me. And it doesn't really feel, how would you say it? It's not painful. You know, it doesn't really like wear me down the way that the anger does from my gut, my stomach, from my tummy. But yeah, so that's how I got around that was, I wouldn't say that the anger is the best thing to use, because sometimes you can go too far, and if you're just blind and just all you see is red and you're really angry, it's going to really affect the way that you speak and the way that you sell and the way that you remember things. So what I did was I went into it with the mindset of, again, I need to rehearse this. I need to prepare properly. And so now once I have that down, I have that committed to memory. Once I go into this passionate mode, it's like muscle memory for my brain, or there's probably a word for that, but I don't know words. So if you know the word for muscle memory for your brain, put it in there. Hard brain memory? I don't know. But for me personally, that's how it feels. It feels like that to me, it just makes sense. So I would say the takeaway from that is definitely be passionate about what you're selling, because if you don't believe in what you're selling, you can't expect someone else to even care about it. You know, so if you don't even believe in the product that you're selling to these people, there's no reason for them to believe you that it's even worth their time. So be passionate about it. Use the anger at your own risk. I personally still use it from time to time when I'm feeling a certain way or whatever. Like, it definitely helps, especially when I'm driving, because I get anxiety when I'm driving too, but I think I'm really good at driving as well. I like to go really fast. For me personally, like it definitely helps just being passionate about what it is that you're selling to these people. Believe in your product and be confident in yourself, and that's going to make all the difference. That's all I got for now for you guys. So until next time, this is Asocialist. Hopefully I see more of you guys in the comments saying things. Tell me what you want for the future, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share other things that YouTube people say. So I'll see you next time.